We go from an episode that was a lot of fun to one that's a bit more depressing. Where do I even start? This is Mega Man NG, and it's time for another TMNT 2012 Season 2 episode review. We're flying through these episode reviews a lot here, and I mean a lot. I think we're pretty much a few weeks away till the end of Season 2, and once that happens, I start Season 3. This is going to be a doozy. Today we're going to be talking about the lonely mutation of Baxter Stockman. You guys know what's going to happen. Here's the deal. I'll provide a summary as well as some of the main points that I liked. Let's get started. Having dealt with Baxter's constant failures, the Shredder punishes him. What he becomes is something more devious. Meanwhile, Donatello has created a retro mutagen, hoping that it can not only help April's dad be cured of his mutation, but also have Splinter return back to normal. As for Stockman, he learns what he has become, and has found a way to return to normal, but much stronger than before. Having discovered that Donatello has created retro mutagen, he kidnaps April, hoping he can use her as a bargaining chip. Now the Turtles are in a pickle, and it doesn't help that April's dad is involved, and Rahzar in the foot for some unknown reason. Can they be able to stop this Stockman fly before he does who knows what to her? I'll give you a spoiler, nothing bad happens to April. But yeah, this episode is one that we've all been waiting for. Due to Baxter's constant failures, the Shredder has enough. And remember that little mutagen thing that he has around Baxter's neck? Well, in other words, Shredder presses a button, and this causes, mutation, or rather in this case, mutagen splattering all over him. And to make matters worse, when a fly comes into contact with him, Baxter gets mutated into the fly, aka Stockman Fly. And boy, how he looks is just scary. And you want to know something? I'm reminded of the 80s Stockman when Baxter fused his human DNA with a fly, becoming Baxter Fly after he was captured and then imprisoned in the Technodrome. And when Baxter mutated into becoming the Fly, or rather fused together, he wanted revenge on Shredder and the Turtles, and he would become just a serious threat as anything. Here, however, Baxter Stockman is now a Fly, but a bit more dangerous than ever due to his senses. That, and he's also a bigger threat because, now that he's a Fly, he has some of the more many advantages into being a Fly. He can be able to fly, he can be able to have enhanced hearing. This makes him a bit more dangerous. Not to mention, him desiring to be a human. I hate to say it, but I'm reminded of the 2003 episode Insane in the Membrane. And the only reason why is because, Baxter didn't want this. Baxter wanted to be human again. And since he became a Fly due to Shredder's punishment, this pretty much delivered a serious reality check, or rather a dark one at that. But with Insane in the Membrane, that Baxter Stockman wanted to be human, so he cloned the body, but that body became very unstable. And considering that episode is really dark and involved April O'Neil, that's saying a lot. And I can't believe I actually mentioned this because, let's be honest, I've watched all the shows and I had to make a comparison somewhat. Like I already mentioned, Baxter as a Fly is a bit more dangerous, and it doesn't help that Rahzar wants in on it on the grounds that he wants to return back to what he used to be. But I kind of like him better as Rahzar because in that form he's more dangerous. There is some good news, however. April's dad finally returns back to normal after what happened in the first episode, the mutation situation. That episode really hit home because it affected Donatello on a personal level, since, their actions pretty much caused all this, but it was also Donnie's determination that helped save April's dad, and I am thankful for it. As for Mikey, he is outright hilarious since he gets to use his old Turflytle costume to distract Kirby and use it to bring it to her dad so he can be cured. It's still kind of funny when you think about it. Not to mention the whole, those bumpers, intermissions when you see it happening. I'm reminded of the 60s show. I don't know why, it just is. There was a lot going on in the episode, and there was a lot of action, especially when they had the Turtles, the Foot, and Baxter Stockman fighting over the retro mutagen, which caused a serious wild goose chase. But remember when April was captured by Baxter Stockman and drenched in mutagen? Well, remember, since April is a human-Krang hybrid, she has immunity to mutagen, which Donatello can figure out that the Krang DNA that's in her is actually possible so they can be able to make retro mutagen. Oh, an interesting fact. When Baxter Stockman was about to be punished by the Shredder, he mentioned warthogs and rhinos. Yeah, that's an omen right there. An omen that eventually Bebop and Rocksteady were going to be in it. I so can't wait to review that episode when it comes. There were a lot of favorite moments. For example, Baxter turning into a fly and showing now how deadly he is. Not to mention, it was scary seeing him, we don't get to see him mutate, but we do see the results. The battle at Baxter's warehouse. Not to mention the huge chase scene that for the retro mutagen between the Stockman fly, the Foot, and the Turtles. Not to mention April's ingenious plan to cure him. I mean, ingenious because they actually use his dad as somewhat of a vehicle. And it's interesting. But what makes it more interesting is that for April Dawn shippers, well, you guys are going to get a lucky break because, well, April shows a lot more affections to Dawn. Well, she kisses him twice. And this, I feel that Dawn and Casey are now having a rivalry over April's affections. But who am I to complain? I like every bit about this episode as much as it is. It was very good. And it was also dark in some instances because Baxter has now gone insane. But here's a surprising thing. Out of all the minions that Shredder has, Baxter would soon become the most loyal. And by season 4, that loyalty is proof of that to the point where Shredder even respects him. Wow. I am really surprised by it. But that's a topic for another day. The episode reviews will be resuming tomorrow, so look forward to them. My rating for it will be in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you've watched the episode, let me know what you think in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you. This is Mega Man NG signing off. Peace out. See you next week. Booyakasha!